welcome back to Reactions That Rock. I am Seth, a former rock and roll radio DJ, and apparently I am the sole decider of what is and is not country music. No, seriously, not at all. But you would have thought that that honor did bestow itself upon me based on the last time I listened to a Beyoncé country song, which was really just like a week or two ago. So, if you don't know, here's what happened. I checked out the new Beyoncé country song, called Texas Hold'em, and my conclusion was that it was a fantastic song, that it was an excellent song, that it should be top on the country charts, that it should have TikTok dances and everything associated with it. And in that time since doing that video, all of that has come true because I said that's what it is, what it should be, what should happen. Unfortunately, I also made the comment that it was not quite country and country adjacent. And a few of you got really, really upset with me over that. So I'm going to quickly explain myself here, which I don't really have to do, but I kind of want to. And then I'm going to fire up another Beyoncé country, we'll find out, song called 16 Carriages. Only an official lyric video. I did a visualizer last time, and that just got a little weird. So I'm doing a lyric video on this one. But here's the deal as far as my comments on the Beyoncé song not quite being country. Yes, it had country vibes. Yes, it had country tropes. Yes, it had a phenomenal country banjo and viola instrumental tracks on it, which, for the record, those were recorded before the song ever was, and just kind of selected at random for a top secret project, which ended up being the Beyoncé song. If you know your history, or if you know your Beyoncé, you know that she did go to North Carolina and pick out a phenomenally talented banjo player. I'm pretty sure she can also play the fiddle and the viola and the violin. That's in country. The violin is called the fiddle. If you don't know, it's the same instrument. It's just, yeah. So here's my reason for saying it wasn't quite country, or it was more of pop country than anything else. Okay. It was a dancey song. Not a problem. There's plenty of those in country. It hit some country tropes as far as the lyrics went. It talked about spurs and boots and Texas Hold'em, poker. But it didn't really tell a story. And country music, from my perspective, and again, I'm just one guy on the internet with one opinion, and opinions are like, we all have them. So, take anything I say with a grain of salt. If you disagree, that's totally fine. We're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to disagree. Some of you have changed my minds on things too. This isn't a huge debate thing. This isn't a huge gotcha thing, and you don't have to come at me for anything. We're all friends here, and this is all said in love, especially when I like the song. But from my perspective, the song was a great dance song, a great pop song with country elements, but it didn't really cross that threshold. And my reason why is simply as follows. To me, country music is blue-collar, working man or woman, and tells a story that's usually relatable to rural Americans, regardless of their skin color. Okay, there are a lot of great black country musicians. There are a lot of great Latino country musicians. One of my favorite, and I don't listen to a whole lot of country, but I gotta be honest with you, I have a Charlie Pride playlist on my Pandora, or a station, whatever they call it on Pandora, because I love that old, like, Mississippi Delta music coming through, the blues edge of the country music. So to me, that's all I meant, was that it didn't have that blue-collar, blues-rooted, emotional story. It was fun, it was upbeat, it was right there with "Let's Go, Girls," and other things. But I barely consider Garth Brooks to be country too, if we're being honest, for much the same reasons. Yes, he tells a story, but it's not quite. And if you're sitting at home and you've got like Merle Haggard albums and Hank Williams Jr., not Hank 3. Hank 3 is, no, sorry, buddy, not country. You're metal with a country edge, and that's totally cool. But anyway, I've gone on way too long. Most of you have probably already skipped this or backed out. If not, I'm going to fire up another Beyoncé song. I was told this is a lot closer to country, a lot more country, and I am going to make a determination when this is done, in my opinion, and me only, I'm not the arbiter of what is and is not country. It's just my opinion, and we're allowed to have separate opinions. I'm going to decide if this crosses that threshold from pop to country, or if this is still country adjacent. So bear with me. We're going to fire this up. I know I've talked way too long, but I kind of felt like I had to explain that one just for those of you that wanted to give me grief on the internet. Okay, I'm already going to stop it. 4 on the floor. Both songs had that. The drumming, the bass drum, kick drum, whatever you want to call it, hitting on that down note. That is a country element. So, and of course, we do have, country sounding music coming through. And credit where it's due. On the last video, I thought it was all going to be MIDI keyboard effects, and it was legitimately real musical instruments being played by real musicians. So I do have to give that credit.
16 carriages driving away while I watch them ride with my dreams away to the summer sunset on a holy night on a long black road. All the tears I fight. 16 carriages driving away while I watch them ride with my dreams away to the summer sunset on a holy night on a long black road. All the tears I fight. At 15, the innocence was gone astray. Had to leave my home at an early age. I saw mama praying, I saw daddy grind. All my tender problems had to leave behind. Okay, remember what I said to me, country needs to have a story? This is a blue-collar story, and I know Beyonce is from Texas. I want to say Houston, but I don't know that for sure. But this is a country story. There's struggle, there's heartache, there's emotion, there's feeling. We have a beginning. I'm pretty sure, unless this just repeats the same lyrics, we're going to have a middle and an end. So this is what I was looking for on the last one, and we'll see if it keeps coming. It's been umpteen summers and I'm not in my bed. On the back of the bus in a bunk with the band. Going so hard, gotta choose myself. Underpaid and overwhelmed. I might cook clean but still won't fall. Still working on my life, you know. Only God knows, only God knows, only God knows. 16 carriages driving away while I watch them ride with my fears away to the summer sunset on a holy night on a long back road. All the tears I fight. 16 carriages driving away while I watch them ride with my fears away to the summer sunset on a holy night on a long back road. All the tears I
fight. Some subtle steel guitar. I like it.
$16 working all day, ain't got time to waste. I got art to make, I got love to create. On this holy night, they won't dim my light. All these years I fight. It's been 38 summers and I'm not in my bed. On the back of the bus in a bunk with the band. Going so hard, now I miss my kids. Overworked and overwhelmed. I might cook clean but still won't fall. Still working on my life, you know. Only God knows, only God knows, only God knows. 16 carriages driving away while I watch them ride with my fears away to the summer sunset on a holy night on a long back road. All the tears I fight. 16 carriages driving away while I watch them ride with my fears away to the summer sunset on a holy night on a long back road. All these tears I fight.
Okay, real quick. I'm starting to get the picture here, and I'm starting to understand the reason the songs came out in the order they did. But this is a much different vibe than Texas Hold'em to me. This tells a story. This is the, like, rags to riches story, because going into this, I mentioned that country to me is a blue-collar vibe, poor rural American vibe, and I didn't know if Beyonce could quite tap into that, being a millionaire, if not billionaire. Roll her husband's cashes into it, and we're trillionaires. I wasn't sure that she could quite understand it, and she's reminding us where she came from here. She was not always world famous. She was not always rich. And this is a throwback to that feeling of having hopes and dreams. And okay, I could go on, but I'll just kind of pick it up right where I left off, and I'll recap this in the end. I know I talk too much.
15, the innocence was gone astray. Had to take it home at an early age. I saw mama crying, I saw daddy lying. Had to sacrifice and leave my fears behind. For legacy, if it's the last thing I do, you'll remember me. Cause we got something to prove in your memory. On a highway to truth, still see our faces when you close your eyes.
Oh, I love this right here.
16 carriages driving away while I watch them ride with my dreams away.
Okay. So Act 2, which is, I guess, the next evolution of Beyonce, hits sometime the end of March. Yeah, it was a 3, wasn't it? Yeah, March. Okay. So here's the deal. And some of you will love me for this, and some of you just won't give a one way or the other. But that was a country song, okay? With pop elements, but that was, to me, again, my opinion, a country song. We had a story. We had hardship. We had this emotional feeling. This isn't the type of song you want to dance to. This was a emotional pouring out of the soul. This could have been a legitimate diary entry she wrote when she was like 15 years old. This could literally be, and I don't know what her upbringing was. I don't know how much truth there is to the mom and the dad stuff. I don't know. It's all out there. She's a public figure, and I'm sure she's spoken about her life. But I don't follow pop music. I don't follow top 40 R&B. It's just not the world I've lived in. I barely follow any music now, to be honest with you. But to me, this hit all the elements of a actual country song, an actual country song for the Grammar Police. This had the story, the blue collar, the feeling, the hope, the despair. It had all of those elements that, to me, make classic country music. And that, to me, is what this is. This is a country song. It doesn't hurt to have the steel guitar in there and the 4-on-the-floor kick drum and everything else going. But that's not necessary for a country song. To me, it's about the tone and the theme, and I think this nailed it. Now, I understand exactly what happened. I come from the radio world, okay? I've dealt with radio singles my entire life. I remember 4 months before an album would come out, we would get a CD in the mail from this band, or, it's all digital now, but we used to get CD singles from the record companies. They would send us it, and sometimes it would say, like, do not play until, and it would have a date on it, and we were obligated to hold on to it until that date and all that stuff. And the singles always were the radio hits they wanted us to play, and I say hits loosely because many of them never materialized into much of anything. But the way it works is you take the song on the album that you think is going to get the biggest buzz, the highest accolade, the most attention, and that is single number 1. That's the first song released off the album, and that's what you push out to all the to all the radio stations. That's what Texas Hold'em was, okay? Texas Hold'em was that safe country pop country song that if it didn't go over well in the country world, you still had a great pop song. And if it did go over well in the country world, you could follow up with stuff that's a little more country. Because if we're just being honest here, from an outside perspective, from somebody who doesn't listen to Beyonce on a regular basis, it's hard for me to comprehend that she could understand what life is like for working class or average, income working class, paycheck to paycheck folk. And that is what country music is. Country music is working in the sun all day for a few bucks and some beer. Like that is the tale of country music. It's It's so it's hard to remember sometimes when we look at people who are international and global superstars, maybe even universal. I'm sure if there's Martians, they're Beyonce fans. But like it's kind of hard sometimes to remember that these people did come from humble beginnings, that they know what we went through because they went through it too. And they may be removed from it by a few years and a couple $1 million, but they did go through it. They do have roots in that world. And I think the first song didn't capture that for me. I didn't feel like she understood working class people. I felt like she just kind of threw some words together that had country sounds with instruments that had country sounds and put a dance song to it. But now I understand that that's the safe single. That's the single that people are going to sing along to. That had a hook that you're going to be singing in the shower. And that's what that was. And it was also the safe bet. Let's not throw total country right out there first. Let's let this song hit and see what the reaction is. And if it's favorable in the country world, oh my God, the rest of this is going to be fantastic. And I think that's where we're sitting. I am really, really looking forward to this album. And I will say for the first time in my life, I am looking forward to a Beyonce album. And the reason for that is, as I said, I think the songs we haven't heard yet are probably going to be even deeper in the country vibe, the blue collar, working class, paycheck to paycheck, emotional, just right there. I think she's getting right out into the red dirt with us. And I love that. I am so looking forward to it. By what I've seen online, it does look like we are getting a full country album, not a dip my toes in with one or two songs and then the rest are going to be kind of like pop hits. I think we're getting a full country album. And I've got a feeling, again, I think the two songs that we've heard so far, Texas Hold'em, which is right up there, and this, are designed to get our feet wet and our appetites, they're appetizers, so that it makes the main course that much more exciting and digestible. And I think it was played safe where if you're a Beyonce fan but don't like country, Texas Hold'em came out and you can still enjoy that. This came out and you're like, well, I don't know if you're a Beyonce fan but don't like country, but I think it's going to come around. And I'm hoping that we're getting really, really right into it. If she's got a song about Jack Daniels, I'm going to lose my mind here. So that's where we're at with that. Overall, I wish this song came out first because I would have avoided some of the nasty comments you sent my way. But it is what it is. Again, some country singers don't have country songs and some pop singers do. And here we are. I think as far as good songs go, we're 2 for 2. I still stand firm that Texas Hold'em is as close to country as you can get without actually being a country song. And I've explained why already. But this is clearly 100% country. This has all the elements. The instruments that you'd expect from country music are there. The elements you expect from country music. The themes, the tropes, the heartache, the understanding of watching the possibility of your dreams just fade away, growing up poor, struggling, trying to make things work, trying to find your way. It's all there. And that is what country music is. Country music is emotional. I don't want to say hillbilly because, but it's the blues. Country music is rooted in the blues. And the blues were about struggle. So when I'm hearing Texas Hold'em, I'm not feeling like I'm struggling. I'm struggling to dance because look at this. This doesn't move the way you'd want it to. But I don't feel the struggle. It doesn't feel this. I feel this and I love it. So those of you that told me to check out 16 Carriages, I'm happy you did. I checked it out and I am a fan. So much so that, again, I am actually looking forward to the whole album and seeing how deep we go down this route. For those of you that understood exactly what I meant when I said I didn't think it was country or to me it wasn't country, I appreciate that. And guess what? To you it can be. That's the beauty of music. If you think it's country, guess what? It's country. Like I said, I'm one guy with an opinion. So are you, or a girl, or anything else. But you have an opinion that's equally as valuable to this universe than my opinion. Not less than, not more than, but we all have one. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Beyonce and the country world, for giving me a second chance on another Beyonce song. Really, really love this. I'll probably put split this into 2 chapters, one where I talk way too long in the beginning, and then one where I get to the music in this, just so that if you don't want to hear me just run my mouth, you can avoid that. Thanks for watching. Yeah, just like I said on the last Beyonce video, doing different sign-offs every time, and I'm just gonna leave you with I want to say don't go chasing waterfalls, but that wasn't them. That wasn't Destiny's Child. Oh, do I know a Destiny's Child song? Oh, come on, I have to know a Destiny. I'm drawing a blank, and I know the minute I hit the stop button on the recording machinery here that it's gonna come to me. But just I'm just gonna leave you with this word of wisdom. Then follow your destiny, child. Yeah, that's all you get from me. I'll catch you on the next one.